think, Cuba, obviously they've been running on like some old power grid for a long time, and they've basically just been ignoring the problem. And I think it was like, what is it, like Friday or something? The power grid just gave way. The entire country lost power.
Yeah,
Which,
you know what? I can relate to that a little bit because I ignore a lot of my problems until they just really come to a head and like almost ruin my life. That's I have the same approach that Cuba does to problems. So
me too. The problem is like we're only ruining our lives, not like millions of people on an island. I figured they should be more responsible.
that is an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's more complicated than we know. But I feel like not having power is so key.
Yeah, I read it. The power grid was like half a century old at this point, and then they have like a floating power grid. Something on a boat is like their backup. It's literally on a boat. So that doesn't sound great.
And then I think they had like a hurricane as well that like compounded the problem.
It's bad timing.
Jeez, when it rains, it pours for sure.
Quite literally, yes.
Yeah, yeah. That is sad though. I mean, even if you don't like, let's say like, you can still like cook and everything. Just not having power is just like, bad for business. Like, I'm sure stores get robbed. You can't like call 911. Like, there's so many problems that arise. Like, I feel like society just breaks down. No internet. Like,
Yeah. Which, I've gone back and forth on if I want to go to Cuba, but recently I'm in the boat of yes, I do want to go. Like
in the
that's
boat.
where I'm at right now. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah.
You know, everyone says it's super beautiful. I like that they have their own culture. A lot of Caribbean, smaller island nations, I feel like they don't have a ton of culture. Like a lot of it's just tourism.
Yeah.
A lot of, but Cuba definitely has a pretty defined culture. After looking into the Wi-Fi situation, and I think you and I have talked about this before too. Like I would almost need to go on a vacation there. Like it couldn't be a nomad living situation because I don't know if I'd be able to work from there remote.
Yeah, yeah, no way. Because I mean, Wi-Fi is so important. But it would be cool. I was living in Miami for a while, and I feel like it's such a strong Cuban influence that it made me like love Cuba, even though I hadn't been. Like everyone's Cuban there.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, actually, here in Cape Town, just down the street, there's this huge bar and restaurant called Cape to Cuba, and it's actually hilarious. So it's this Cuban themed restaurant, and everyone's walking around wearing the like Fidel Castro hats, like the whole get-up. It's awesome. They got Cuban flags flying like high up outside the restaurant. So yeah, people say it's kind of a controversial spot almost, but it's awesome. And I've been there a couple times and had a really good time.
Wait, which part is controversial? The country or the bar?
The bar.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Cuba was an extremely controversial place for a while. So to build this restaurant and have Cuban flags and have people wearing the Fidel Castro get up, like I guess that's a little bit controversial.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, and I do like, okay, another thing about the, Caribbean islands is they usually don't have good food, but I do like Cuban sandwiches and I
Oh
do
yeah.
like ropa vieja. Like there's some good Cuban food that I can get behind.
Totally.
Probably because it's such a big island, they can have like actual stuff on the island.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's cool. That's funny that you went there. And it's also interesting how they kind of worship, the dictator, but like, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, so Cuba is the largest country in the Caribbean. So at least by area, it is the largest, second largest being the Dominican Republic, and then Jamaica. So those top three, I feel like, yeah, you're right. If you're a bigger island, then you have more people, you can have more culture and have more of your own food and things like that, whereas some of those tiny little islands are just, again, just tourism is their culture for the most
Yeah,
part. But
people just come in and just yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Cuba has a vibe for sure, and I'd like to experience that vibe one of these days.
Get the classic car, but I'll probably stay in a nice hotel when I go, I'll probably just do that. Like,
I heard that the all inclusives there are actually amazing, and
yeah.
they're pretty affordable. And this is what I heard from Alita's Canadian cousin. Like, it's the best service they've ever had at a hotel. They said the Cuban people just, they make good money at these hotels, and they don't want to really, they don't want to put that at any risk. So they work really hard. They do their best to serve you. They don't want to jeopardize the good situation that they have by working for this hotel. So,
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, and that makes total sense. Whereas maybe other places that, sometimes when you go to an all inclusive, they kind of don't give a shit about you sometimes. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it sounds great.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I hope they get their power back because and I don't know, is it like a systemic problem? Like it seems like it's not a quick fix.
It does not seem like a quick fix based on what I was reading. There's definitely a lot involved with it. So hopefully they can get that figured out because of all the reasons that we just highlighted. Not having power sucks. I mean, you can't even, heat up something in the microwave, which is incredibly important to me. So,
Yeah, and I mean, you can't even, have perishable food.
damn it. Yeah. All right. The food situation is enough for me to. But yeah, I heard that like 10% of the Cuban population has actually left the country in the past few years. So seems like things aren't the best there. But yeah, hopefully they get better.
I know where they're going. Calle Ocho in Miami. It is the Cuban hotspot. That's where they're at,
Little,
baby.
little
Yeah.
Havana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a delicious Cuban sandwich on that street a couple years back.